Hey guys, I'm meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather. This is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast, and we'll start out with my spiderweb chart of just a quick glance. You can immediately see where the best odds of snow are going to be over the next 5 days, and this will take us all the way through Thanksgiving into the upcoming weekend. Up in the Northeast, it's one tiny amount of snow for Jackson Hole, Tetons, and parts of western Montana with a very fast-moving sort of moisture-starved storm, so you're kind of low to medium on the chart, but then very high and pegged, and this is the hot spot for the next 5 to even 7 days. It's in the Pacific Northwest. It's British Columbia, and it's western Alberta. So you've got Sunshine Village and Revelstoke and Whistler Blackcomb and Panorama, Marmot Basin. You know all these places, Fernie, and even Schweitzer. There's a tiny bump right there, although, I think a lot of these places we may be fighting a bit of a rain-snow problem lower on the mountain, but if you're mid-mountain and higher, that's really what we're looking at right here for most of these places. All right, so let's look at sort of the future radar of all of this and see where everything's going to be. Right now, we've got some fast-moving snow moving through Colorado. We've seen anywhere from 1 to 6 inches, so that happens today, but it's going to be gone by Thanksgiving. So let's put this into motion here. By the time we get into Thursday morning, most of the west is dry. Everything that was in Colorado and New Mexico is completely gone. It's dry in Wyoming and Montana and Idaho, but look at where the blue is. That's the snow. That's Pacific Northwest. That's interior BC. And then notice there's a front moving towards the Northeast. So by the time we get into Friday morning, in the Northeast, you've got a cold front going through. It's going to be rain over to snow, and I do think there will be a couple of pockets of heavier snow. I'll show you those coming up in my forecast, like Jay Peak over to Mount Washington. But look to the west, Pacific Northwest, northern Idaho, extreme northwest Montana. It's still snowing up in BC and all of those areas. Sliding into Saturday morning right here. Look at the blue. That's where the snow is. There's some wraparound snow in the Northeast, so it's cold and windy up there. Pacific Northwest bracing for the next storm. There's like 2 or 3 different storms lined up for that area. That's where the best snow is going to be, most consistent. Still high and dry, lower 48 through parts of Colorado. Not a lot going on right there. And by Sunday morning, still high and dry across most of the west with the storm track hitting the Pacific Northwest. There may be one more cold front that rolls through the Northeast between Sunday and Monday. That's the way it looks on the future radar. So as far as snowfall amounts, we'll start out west. You can see where the biggest numbers are going to be. This runs basically the 24th to the 28th. These are the totals. So the numbers you see in Colorado and northern New Mexico are happening on the 24th, and then it's over. The numbers you see up in Wyoming and Montana and Idaho, those light numbers, those are going to happen between that period with one small, fast-moving storm system. But really the heaviest stuff is going to be up in the Pacific Northwest, British Columbia, western Alberta. I don't have anything, unfortunately, anything at all for California over the next 5, 7, 8 days. It may be 10 days before we bring anything into that area. Up in the Northeast, a couple of pockets of heavier snow, northern New Hampshire, northern Vermont, northern Maine, with the wraparound effect. That's where your best accumulations are going to be. Otherwise, it's mainly a 3 to 8 through most of the heart of the ski areas there. So that's the Northeast. One place I do want to look at is Whistler Blackcomb opening this Thanksgiving. You can see on my snow plume forecast, they could have 40 inches by the 28th, mid-mountain and higher. There's a couple of very moisture-laden storms lined up with this flow. And then it accelerates off the chart up again. We could be looking at 50 inches plus by the 2nd of December. Looking at the west overall, and I'll go back to my totals map here. When will we start to see more action across the lower 48 Rockies? Honestly, it could be the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th of December before any of that happens, before we see lower pressures move in to the lower 48. Otherwise, it is going to be a long stretch of just sort of feeding off these minor amounts of snow that we've been getting until we may, and it's not even a guarantee, we might be able to get some bigger numbers in there and lower pressures by, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of December. So there you go. That's my Snow Before You Go forecast. Always appreciate you guys tuning in here. Have a great Thanksgiving.